has said many times in the video, she is screwed, like totally effed up, like she's going to jail.
Tiffany Henyard is reportedly sentenced to life in prison after a bombshell development. She allegedly misused taxpayer funds for personal luxuries such as five-star hotels and first-class flights. Reports indicate that Henyard used public money to fund extravagant trips, including stays in high-end hotels and luxury air travel. These allegations of misusing taxpayer money and financial laws lead Tiffany Henyard to face significant legal consequences, including up to 20 years in prison.
We need those officers to be on the street fighting crime, and instead we have several officers that are riding around protecting them.
The former police chief in South Suburban Dalton is speaking out for the first time to just one station about Mayor Tiffany Henyard's controversial police security detail and how it impacted his ability to fight crime.
Last year, a Fox 32 investigation showed how that detail is taking officers off the street and costing taxpayers thousands of dollars in overtime. Dane Placco continues his investigation, exclusively talking to the former top cop who tried to put a stop to it.
The manpower was just very stressed and critical.
Federal investigations into her spending habits are ongoing, and the charges against her could lead to serious penalties. The allegations of financial misconduct, misuse of power, and misuse of public funds are severe enough that jail time remains a strong possibility.
What started as a local investigation is quickly unraveling into a significant federal case with broad implications. It's a story of power, it's scrutiny, and obviously the quest for transparency. If you check out some of Tiffany Henyard's biggest supporters on Facebook, they have deleted their profiles and deleted their posts talking about Henyard. I'm talking to you, T.O. Hardeman. Maybe you finally realize that she's in trouble, and finally realize that this is not just a joke. This is not just an attack on a black woman, a single black woman in power, but a corrupt person that has effed up the entire town of Dalton and effed up the township. Or you just don't want to get the checkered past. So picture this, a mayor who doesn't just fall from grace, but plunges into legal trouble. That's Jerry Genova, the former mayor of Calumet City, who ruled from 1993 to 2001, when he was indicted and eventually jailed for 5 years. His crimes? Pocketing $125,000 in kickbacks and shamelessly using city employees to campaign for him on the city's dime. That sounds familiar. Fast forward to Tiffany Henyard, whose political and financial dealings seem very similar to Genova's playbook.
Oh, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Getting up at press conference talking about nothing. Learn the law.
Henyard, who is knee-deep in controversies of her own, is under scrutiny of how she handles or mishandles her campaign funds. Where is the money going?
Tiffany Henyard serves as the mayor of Dalton, a small village in Illinois with a population of approximately 20,000 people. Despite Dalton's small size and modest economy, Henyard has reportedly managed to secure an annual salary of $270,000, a figure which far exceeds the income levels of most of her constituents. Her large salary, in stark contrast to the financial realities of Dalton residents, has only further inflamed public opinion.
Allegedly received from Jerry Genova. And when it comes to other campaign-related expenses, they're virtually non-existent in her financial disclosures. And what is baffling about Tiffany Henyard, most of her declared expenses are for food. Yeah, food. While there should be finance reports covering campaign flyers, event organization, and other significant expenses, all we see is receipts for meals, food. There's also a small expenditure at a cell phone store and another tiny amount spent at the post office, which doesn't come close to covering most of the mailing campaign literature. This is where whoever's running the accounting firm for Tiffany Henyard is doing some creative stuff. Tiffany claims her campaign literature was paid by her campaign fund. It turns out that this group doesn't even exist, confirmed by legal checks in a lawsuit involving another party. This raised some significant concerns about the transparency and honesty of her campaign financial dealings. There is none. So who's really paying? It appears that some of Tiffany's extravagant fundraising events in 2022 and 2023 were bankrolled not by her campaign, but by the Dalton Township. This misuse of funds is not only odd, but potentially illegal, as campaign funds are required by law to cover such expenses.
Questioned about the use of police for personal matters, Tiffany Henyard defended her actions, claiming she had been granted authorization for additional security. She argued that, as mayor, she is entitled to enhanced protection, especially given the high-profile nature of her role.
So, your critics say that you have a significant security detail. First of all, how large is your police department in Dalton? And what is your security detail?
So we have about 45 officers in our village. My security is warranted due to the fact of threats and things of that nature. But what people are not stating is it's in our CBA. That's our collective bargaining agreement. That's our union contract. So it comes with a seat. That's what people are not saying. I didn't make this up. I didn't just create this and say, I want security.
Within just 5 months of Tiffany Henyard time as mayor, Dalton has reportedly fallen deeper into debt. This financial decline is largely attributed to her extravagant spending habits. Public funds meant for essential services have allegedly been diverted to cover Henyard's personal expenses. In this short time, Dalton has struggled to maintain financial stability, with residents seeing a decrease in services and an increase in economic strain.
You're looking into what is the reason and rationale for that. But what it's new is that the credit card bills that are paid do not appear on your list, and they're not presented to the board for approval. Again, that will be a recommendation that is needed before probably there is issue the activity so the other day, rating the credit card spending. We also do it from the Pittsburgh company that the only time the credit cards wouldn't be reflected on a workplace is provided in that said,
misuse of taxpayer money extended to expensive shopping spree. Allegedly, she used public funds to purchase personal items online, notably spending a staggering $3,000 in a single day on Amazon. Her purchases made using the village's credit card included items that had no apparent connection to official duties or public service.
That's roughly $40,000. On your time, it would say that. And our understanding is that the village does not have a data project or a data account. These are somebody using one of the credit cards and charges about user we suspect related to be a genesis party, Walgreens, that's fine. A number of charges that raise questions in our mind are these legitimate purchases.
One significant example includes her $10,000 trip to Las Vegas, where she staged at a top-tier casino resort and dined lavishly.
March of 2023 no travel. Washington, D.C., 2023 4 no travel. Las Vegas is at 58 no travel. Jackson, Mississippi is June of 2023 with 3 no travel. Austin, Texas is July of 2023 with 3 no travel. Portland, Oregon is July of 2023 with 4 travel. Yeah, you're aware of what happens in that time. 10 hotel rooms booked during that travel. Travel to New York City in October of 2023, 1 travel. Atlanta, Georgia in November of 2023, 1 travel. On the Vanity site. I caveat that because we will continue to look at, I'll say, cross-pollination between the village and the township and the credit card we use there.
This lavish spending raised alarms among local residents, as Dalton is a small village with a population of only about 20,000 people, many of whom live in financial hardship.
On a highway near Dalton, you will see billboards of Tiffany Henyard. These are all billboards that are paid for by taxpayers, and they advertise things such as senior services and free fresh produce. But Tiffany always puts her face and name in huge letters opposed to the actual things advertising in order to get her name out there. And as I said, this is all paid for by taxpayers. Tiffany recently went to Las Vegas with a few of her friends to attend a conference While there, she spent all this money in airfare, hotels, and then money at restaurants like Blue Chris's, Cafe Hollywood, Hot and Juicy Crawfish. And this was all paid for by the taxpayers because she was there attending a conference, a shrimp company. And then she brought the hat that she bought there to her town council when she was being questioned about money she spent in Las Vegas. Afterwards, Tiffany was asked by the local news station about her time in Las Vegas. I just want to remind you before you watch this clip, this is not a show. This is real life. This is not comedy. It's not a skit. You didn't go to Las Vegas. What is that? You were in Las Vegas?
I don't have it.
What are you?
It's not paid back.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Another allegation against Tiffany Henyard is that she used taxpayer money to fund her personal foundation. This move reportedly contributed to an increase in Dalton's budget, further exacerbating the village's financial difficulties. Public funds that could have been used to improve infrastructure, public services, or address community needs were allegedly funneled into foundation.
2 months of activity came from taxpayers. It's the latest example of questionable spending by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as Thornton Township Supervisor. The Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation was created in the fall of 2022 and heavily promoted by Henyard. The township board she oversees gave the foundation $10,000 days after its creation. New filing with the Illinois Attorney General says the foundation only raised $3,000 additional dollars. WGN Investigates previously reported thousands more dollars were charged to township credit cards during the charity's walk to Springfield. Henyard tried to distance herself from the foundation in a recent interview, claiming she had no involvement in the group's activities. The Attorney General has ordered the foundation to stop soliciting money because it still hasn't submitted tax filings to show how it spent money.
In a controversial decision, Henyard appointed a lawyer with a criminal history as the village's attorney. Despite strong opposition from trustees, the lawyer's annual salary was set at $100,000, a figure that many view as excessive, particularly given the village's financial troubles. The decision to appoint this individual raised concerns about Henyard's judgment and her ability to manage Dalton's resources responsibly.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard has had quite a week this week, folks. And no comments about race or gender because I'm going to delete them. As we all know, Tiffany is up to her neck in legal problems. But on Tuesday, a town meeting was supposed to be canceled because not enough trustees showed up, mostly as a protest to her. But Tiffany Henyard showed up anyway, and she appointed a new village lawyer and a new town administrator. And the new administrator is, sketchy to say the least. But here's why she said she hired him.
The reason for Mike is one of his have a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand.
Yeah, except Michael Smith here has actually been arrested at least 8 times, including for DV against his great aunt, several resisting arrest charges, filing false police reports. Oh, and in 2018, when he was assistant dean at Thornton Fractional High School, he was fired for sexual harassment of a student, grooming her, and asking her on Snapchat to be his girlfriend. He also had to resign from his last trustee position in Dixmoor after pleading guilty to theft, where he allegedly posed as a police officer to steal gasoline. And just this last year, he was fired from another school district for falsifying information on his employment application.
Trustees and residents alike have questioned the rationale behind this appointment, with many calling for the lawyer's removal.
He even worked with the FBI over Tiffany Henyard. Now, the Board of Trustees came out and they said, no, this isn't legal. You can't hire him this way, not without the trustees' approval. And this $100,000 a year salary, yeah, we're not paying him that because this is not a legal way to appoint him. This right after she threw a party over the weekend at a skating rink that she built that has yet to be open to the public unless she is there or unless she is throwing a campaign event. Speaking of that, the party was called Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic, which is setting off a lot of alarm bells because guess what? That's also the name of her campaign fund. Oh, and this skating rink that's never been open to the public? Apparently she charged $17,000 at a roller skate wholesaler's, but she's claiming that she put some of her own money into this event. This event is so shady that the Greater Chicago Food Depository sent a representative down to this party to make sure that she wasn't handing out food that was supposed to be for poor people. And since you know Dalton has essentially cut up Tiffany Henyard's credit card, this feels like it was a thin
thinly veiled attempt to try and embezzle money this way.
Henyard has reportedly used taxpayer money to fund billboards across Dotton, all of which prominently display her name. These billboards have been placed throughout the village, leading many to accuse Henyard of self-promotion at the public's expense.
Tiffany Henyard is the most controversial mayor in all of America. This mayor named Tiffany Henyard is the mayor of a place called Dalton, Illinois. And essentially every single resident in Dalton wants Tiffany out of office. This is mainly because Tiffany's very controversial use of taxpayer money. For starters, Tiffany has a full security detail that goes everywhere with her in the town. This security detail is estimated to be about $250K a year. In addition to security, Tiffany also uses taxpayer funds to do things like buying billboards with her face and name on it. She also puts her name all over government buildings throughout the town, and she even has her own 2024 calendar, and of course she put her own birthday in the calendar. Now, in addition to all of this, Tiffany has also made it extremely hard for anyone to run against her. Currently, she makes around $225K a year. However, if someone were to run against her and win, they would not be getting anywhere close to what Tiffany makes. This is because Tiffany is proposing a 90% cut in her salary, but only if someone who is not her is elected. This would drop the pay from $225K to just $25K. Yet, even with that massive pay cut, people still want to run against Tiffany just so they can get her.
The use of public funds for what some view as a vanity project has further alienated Henyard from her constituents, who see the billboards as unnecessary and wasteful. Tiffany Henyard story because anybody who shows up to a city town hall meeting just like Nino Brown is definitely doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one, and thanks for watching our video.